7 long weeks after they started their search, the Toronto Raptors have finally found their new head coach, and his name is Darko Rajakovic. What's up, everyone? It's Luca here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. If I sound a little off in this one, it's because I'm still battling a cold, so bear with me. I hope my voice can survive this video and doesn't die out on me. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get into this and talk about the latest news out of Raptorland. The Toronto Raptors have hired Memphis Grizzlies assistant Darko Rajakovic as the team's next head coach, sources told ESPN on Saturday. You look at Rajakovic, he is a Serbian native and arrived from Serbia in 2012 as a G League head coach with the OKC Thunder before advancing onto the OKC bench and making stops with the Phoenix Suns and then Memphis Grizzlies. He eventually became Taylor Jenkins' top assistant with the Grizzlies. Woj said that the Raptors wanted a coach whom they believed could coach a contending team should the franchise stay on its current path with veterans, or a rebuilding roster should they eventually transform the roster to younger players and draft assets, sources said. Woj also said that Golden State's Kenny Atkinson and Milwaukee's Charles Lee were other coaches given serious consideration in the process. And Josh Lundberg said that the new Raptors head coach, Darko Rajakovic, has been in coaching for nearly 3 decades. He started coaching in Serbia at 16 years old. Now he is 44 and is widely regarded as one of the NBA's best in player development, a focus for the Raptors in their search. So my reaction to this is that I really like this hiring. Rajakovic is coming from a Grizzlies team that's developed some great young talent over the years, and Rajakovic had a big responsibility in helping develop guys like JJJ and Bane. Him being regarded as one of the best development coaches in the NBA is huge. And it's this quality that leads me to believe that the Raptors are headed for a rebuild. Having a coach like this will definitely get the most out of the younger players on this roster. For starters, I am looking forward to year 3 of Scottie Barnes, who should definitely benefit the most with a coach like Rajakovic. And speaking of Barnes, this is what NBA reporter Evan Siddery had to say about the Rajakovic hire. Rajakovic is known for his offensive prowess at previous stops with Phoenix and Memphis. He's an innovative mind that could fully unlock Scottie Barnes' immense potential with the Raptors. So I really think a guy like Scottie Barnes is going to have his game elevated to new heights. And young guys like Precious Achiuwa, Malachi Flynn, Christian Koloko, Delano Banton, Ron Harper Jr. should all benefit as well. Not to mention, the Raptors are still going to have the 13th overall pick and could have another pick if they decide to swing a big trade. By the way, I'm still down for the idea of trading Siakam for the 3rd pick in Simons. One of the biggest flaks was that Nick Nurse didn't give the younger guys on this team a good enough opportunity to prove themselves. You would think now that Rajakovic is definitely going to allow these younger guys to earn their minutes and give them ample opportunities to do just that. Also, if the Raptors were sold about going for it and contending now, I think they would have hired a coach with playoff experience or a guy who was familiar with this team, like a Sergio Scariolo. But going with Rajakovic suggests that the Raptors are willing to be patient and develop their young assets. I also like that Masai didn't go for an internal hire here. The Raptors have a new voice, which will be refreshing for a team that seemed to have lost itself last season. And Rajakovic is set to be a very well-respected coach. Doug Smith said this: a source with close ties to Memphis described Rajakovic as a salt-of-the-earth type of guy, organized and relates well to the players. The Raptors just fired a coach who seemed to have lost the locker room and didn't connect with the players anymore, so Rajakovic already checks that box. Not to mention, Rajakovic is from Serbia. So, I mean, the idea of maybe Nikola Jokic one day playing for this team is not out of the realm of possibilities. And also, Rajakovic is an espresso connoisseur. How can you not appreciate that? But all jokes aside, I think the Raptors made a good and smart decision here. I'm glad the Raptors finally made this hire too, because I was starting to think the Raptors were going to go into the draft without a coach, and that would have been an absolute disaster. But when you look at the Raptors, they needed a fresh start and they needed a culture reset. And I think this is a step towards the right direction with that. We'll see what moves follow in regards to the personnel on this team, which is going to be very important. But I do think that if this team finally embraces a rebuild, a guy like Rajakovic is a perfect coach to lead this team into that direction. And look, even if the Raptors do run it back, like Woj mentioned, the Raptors feel that Rajakovic is still capable of having success if everybody returns. But by the way, I already made my take so many times in regards to that. I really hope the Raptors use this as an opportunity to rebuild properly and prioritize building around Scottie Barnes. And it seems like the majority of fans are inclined to rebuilding as well. I did a poll on my community poll the other day, and a good portion of you voted that the Raptors would rebuild when I asked you which direction will the Raptors ultimately take. So we will see what happens, but either way, the Raptors' young talent gets a major boost with this hire, and given Rajakovic's track record, I think he will help do a great job here in Toronto. I honestly don't see any negatives to this. I know a lot of people are quick to say, wow, the Raptors really got rid of Nick Nurse for a no-name guy. Be patient with it. I have a feeling that you are going to grow to like Rajakovic. If you even watch some of the videos that there are of him, he goes into more about his offensive philosophies. I think this is a guy that's going to help spice up the Raptors offense. And this is a guy that's really going to prioritize player development. And that is something that is in this team's calling card at this point. So, yeah, Rajakovic, he gets his opportunity, and he is a well-respected head coach around the league. You can tell his peers, players respect him and his coaching tactics. So he should fit in nicely with this Raptors franchise. So my reaction to this overall is a very positive one. What is your reaction to the Raptors bringing in Rajakovic? Do you like the hire? Do you dislike the hire? Let me know your full thoughts in the comment section down below. And what do you think the Raptors will do from here? Do you think the Raptors will embrace a rebuild, or do you think the Raptors will run it back? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We're about a couple weeks away from the NBA draft, so I'm very interested to see what the Raptors are going to do. They have the 13th overall pick as of now, so they could definitely get a good young talent with that pick. That is it. Welcome to the Toronto Raptors. Darko Rajakovic. The Raptors get their coach before the NBA draft, and this is going to be a very, very important offseason for the Toronto Raptors. As we know, there are a lot of big decisions that need to be made, but one of the biggest decisions has finally been made. The Raptors have found their new head coach. They were the first team to fire their head coach, and they are the last team to hire their head coach for their head coaching vacancy. The Toronto Raptors have their guy.